Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH The Flame Emperor Part 65 based on novel. So let's start. The energy in this door of light seems to be familiar. Xiao Yan also stared at the door of light in the hall in front of him, and then spoke slowly. This breath. It seems to be a bit similar to when you fought the Soul Heaven Emperor on the Do Chi continent. Xiao Yi also remembered something, and said, "The body of Do Di." Xiao Yang also shrank his pupils tightly, and then stared at the door of light in front of him, because Xiao Yang also suddenly remembered that the aura in this door of light was the same as when he used it on the Do Chi continent. The body of the Do Di that came out is quite similar. Yes, this is the Do Di River, which is specially used to condense the body of Do Di. Mu Shuzi also brought the 5 people to the side of Guangmen slowly, and then slowly guided the 5 people. Do Di. The body of a fighting emperor. What are these things? Mu Yingying also asked in a puzzled manner. Seeing the look of confusion, it was obviously the first time she had heard of it. Xiao Yang also frowned, obviously finding that Mu Yingying doesn't seem to know a lot of things, and she doesn't know anything about her attempts as a human being. Is this a fool? Of course, Xiao Yang wouldn't think that Mu Yingying was a fool. After all, Mu Yingying's 4-star Do Emperor perfection level strength. If it was a fool, it would be impossible for her to cultivate so fast. The so-called Do Di River means that it has access to many independent spaces. These spaces are connected in all directions, but without exception, entering it can condense the body of Do Di. Do Di Hanoi has a special power, enough for you to condense the body of Do Di. As for the body of Do Di, it is to increase your attack and defense power by geometric multiples, and to form a huge energy body on the surface of your body through special techniques. Mu Shuzi also smiled slowly. No wonder. Xiao Yang also remembered that when he was in the Do Chi continent, the reason why the Soul Heaven Emperor could condense the body of a bleeding emperor was largely due to the records of their ancestors of the Soul clan. So he could condense it. As for Xiao Yang himself, it is because of the ancient Emperor Tuosha, so he can also condense the body of Emperor Yang. However, in order to suppress the Soul Heaven Emperor's soul power, he also completely burned the body of the Do Emperor, and completely suppressed the Soul Heaven Emperor. Therefore, Xiao Yang also lost his body as Do Di. However, Xiao Yang also found that since he came to the Xianling continent, he rarely saw other people using the body of Do Di. Haha, even on our Xianling continent, there are not a lot of people who can use this Do Emperor. Mu Shuzi also seemed to have noticed Xiao Yang's doubts, and then said, "Although the body of Do Di is powerful, it is a symbol of a strong Do Di, but without Do Di River, it is difficult for ordinary families to condense. Therefore, there are very few strong people on our Xianling continent who can display the body of Do Di. And the preciousness of this Do Di River, other than our Xian Santian supersects, no other big family is qualified to own it. On the one hand, this Do Di River must be opened up by Dozian powerhouses, and on the other hand, the things this Do Di River needs are too precious to be measured by money." Mu Shuzi also said slowly. He, I've heard about the symbol of a strong Do Di, the body of Do Di. I can't believe that I can see Do Di River today. Mu Feng also smiled slowly, but there was something in his voice that couldn't be concealed. Happy. Others don't know the body of this Do Di, but he, Mu Feng, is very clear. There are 2 levels of powerhouses, who have condensed the body of Do Emperor, and those who have not condensed the body of Do Emperor. A strong person who has condensed the body of a Do Emperor, even if it is only in the early stage of the 4-star Do Emperor, is enough to rely on the body of the Do Emperor to resist the attacks of the strong in the early stage of the 5-star Do Emperor, and remain invincible. This is the most terrifying aspect of Do Di. It's actually the body of Do Di. Green Flute couldn't hide her surprise, her jade hand raised slightly to cover her lips, so as not to express too much surprise. The green flute belongs to the Medusa clan, but this does not conceal her strength as a Do-D. Their Medusa clan can also be condensed into a Do-D. However, the preciousness of the Do-D river, even with the background of their Medusa clan, cannot be established, so there are very few strong people in their Medusa clan who have the body of Do-D. So how could Green Flute not be moved by the Do-D river that is now in front of Green Flute? Moreover, the Green Flute also has a temper. When he joined the Fenxiang Pavilion, he was attacked by the Xianling king. It is impossible to say that he is not angry. Although the Medusa clan and the Xianling royal family have a great blood feud, the Xianling king dares to take the shot directly. So the Green Flute also has a grudge in his heart. The body of a fighting emperor. Xiao Yi also muttered obsessively. Obviously, Xiao Yi also knew the horror of Xiao Yang's body as Emperor Yang, so she was looking forward to it. Because the current self is also a part of human beings, it is also a matter of course to cultivate the body of Do-D. Okay, when I explain it to you, let's enter it. The body of the Emperor Do is the symbol of a strong Do-D, but not every strong Do-D can display it. Only after entering the Do-D river and condensing it can it become a major fighting method for you. The body of Do-D is divided into 10 grades. The first grade is the most clumsy, but most of them are the 4th and 5th grades. I remember that the most outstanding disciple, who joined our human palace last time, was the 6th rank Do Emperor. I wonder if you will be more perverted than this time. Mu Shuzi also said slowly. But before Mu Shuzi's voice fell, he noticed the expectation of the 5 people around him, and then shook his head. You reading. Remember, the people who exist in the Do-D river are all strong people. If you are lucky, you can meet some Do Emperor bodies of overlords. If you can get the Do Emperor body of Do-D, it will have different degrees of influence on your future cultivation. The benefits. Mu Shuzi also said loudly. Okay, let's all get in. I will wait for you here until you successfully condense the body of Do-D, Mu Shu's voice echoed in the hall. Let's go. Xiao Yang also exchanged glances with the people around him, then turned into a milky white flame, and went straight into the door of light. Or Do-D is more suitable. This Do-D river has existed for thousands of years. I don't know if the most terrifying 10th grade Do Emperor still exists. After so many years, maybe it's still incomplete. Mu Shuzi also shook his head, and then the old man above the hall also slowly came to Mu Shuzi. When he condenses the body of Do-D, maybe I will take him out. The old man, who Mu Shuzi called Zhu Lao, also said. Well, no problem. Mu Shuzi also said with a smile, if Xiao Yang, such an excellent seedling, was taken by Lao Zhu, he would be relieved. Reporting to my king, the things in the imperial pool have been processed, and outsiders can enter. A soldier also respectfully said to King Xianling. Send someone to send a letter to Burning Incense Pavilion. Since you agreed, you can't break the rules. But you Burning Incense Pavilion won't be jumping for a long time. When I get the 9-colored sky-swallowing python, it will be the day when your Burning Incense Pavilion and the Medusa clan will be destroyed. King Xianling also laughed. This Do-D river seems to be a little different. As soon as Xiao Yang entered the Do-D river, he felt an extremely warm aura coming towards his face. Then at the same time, Xiao Yang's huge soul power was also covered, and he found that there were many light clusters around him, and there seemed to be something in the light clusters. Many light groups stared at Xiao Yang eagerly. Originally, I wanted to find Do-D to condense the body of a Do Emperor for you after you joined the Fenxiang Pavilion. After all, this body of Do-D is a great way to save your life. The voice of my own master Jinlong Wang was also the same. The echo echoed in Xiao Yang's mind. Where are their people? Xiao Yan came back to his senses and suddenly found that Mu Yingying and the others had disappeared without a trace. Don't look for it, this Dodi River is an independent space. When they entered, they were immediately teleported, so you can't find them. The Golden Dragon King also said slowly. Just when Xiao Yang was stunned, an invisible force in the surrounding white space was viciously grabbing at Xiao Yang. Seeing this, Xiao Yang also hurriedly activated Dodi to resist, but no matter what Xiao Yang did struggling, but also unable to escape. Humph! Just because you are a fourth-rank fighting emperor, do you want to accept my disciple? The Golden Dragon King snorted coldly, then waved it casually, and a terrifying wave suddenly dissolved the invisible power. Xiao Yang was also gasping for breath. Obviously, the invisible fluctuation just now, if it wasn't for his master, the Golden Dragon King, I am afraid that he would no longer be here now. Master, where are we going now? Xiao Yang also said. The place where you are now is the entrance of this Dodi River. At this entrance, there will be some light groups with Dodi's body randomly, and Dodi's body in the light group. They were all strong before their death. He has been sojourned in the Dodi River by special means, waiting to find someone who is suitable for him and bestow his body as Dodi, so as not to let his unique skills be lost. This is also a kind of rebirth in disguise. The Golden Dragon King also continued to speak. However, there are two ways to obtain this Do Emperor's body. One is to rely on one's own strength to condense it out. The Golden Dragon King also smiled slowly. What about the other kind? Xiao Yang also asked in doubt, then stared at his master, the Golden Dragon King. Another kind. It's just alone. In other words, it is to obtain the body of a Dodi who lives in this Dodi Hanoi. The Golden Dragon King also laughed. What's the difference between the two? Xiao Yang also wondered. Obviously, he knew very little about Dodi's body, so he opened his mouth. The difference between the two is that the body of the Do Emperor that you condensed is very compatible with yourself, and it is quite handy to fight, but with your current strength, the body of the Do Emperor that you condense, at best, will not more than 6 grades. As for obtaining the body of the Dodi of this Dodi Hanoi strong man, whether it is formidable or tyrannical, it is far superior to what you condensed yourself. So what's your choice? The Golden Dragon King also stared at Xiao Yang with a smile, and said jokingly. Naturally it's the latter. Xiao Yang also laughed slowly, and obviously understood why his master, the Golden Dragon King, resisted the invisible force that was trying to seize him. Because this Dodi Hanoi has only one chance. Once attracted by that invisible force, Xiao Yang also lost his qualifications to find other tyrannical fighting emperors. Not bad. As for the tyranny of this Dodi, when you get it, you'll know how huge the difference is between one of these grades. The Golden Dragon King also smiled slowly. Hearing that, Xiao Yang was also excited. Obviously, when he fought against the Soul Heaven Emperor in the Do Chi continent, he knew the tyranny of the Do Emperor's body. So he was unavoidably excited when he wanted to regain the Do Emperor's body. There seems to be an extremely terrifying existence in this Dodi River. Xiao Yang's huge soul power also covered this Dodi River, and then Xiao Yang also discovered that the space of this Dodi River is too complicated. Even if it is his own emperor realm, the soul power of the peak of the ordinary level can only be detected partially. It's just that Xiao Yang also vaguely felt that there seemed to be an extremely terrifying existence in the depths of the Dodi River, and many surrounding forces were quite afraid of this force. Have you found it? The Golden Dragon King also laughed. The purpose of our trip is him. The Golden Dragon King also laughed. This? Xiao Yang heard the words, his pupils shrank tightly, and his face was full of disbelief. The power in the deepest part of Do Di Hanoi should be the most powerful being. In front of him, his current strength is just like an ant. But it's worth a try. Xiao Yan's eyes became hot, after being surprised for a while. Although I don't know that the deepest power in Hanoi is a G-rank Do Emperor, but if I think about it, it will not be weaker than myself. After all, the body of the Do Emperor that he condensed was only the rank of 6th rank, although Xiao Yang still did not know how far apart there was in the body of the Do Emperor, who was 1 rank. But I can also feel it from my master, the Golden Dragon King. The difference is definitely not a little bit. Let's go then. This power seems to be familiar, maybe it is a strong person I knew before. The Golden Dragon King also pondered a little and then said, "Yeah." Xiao Yang replied softly, and then covered his body with milky white flames, heading towards the depths of the Do Di River. Along the way, Xiao Yang also encountered a lot of powerful forces. Just from the perspective of his strength, Xiao Yang could feel it. If he obtained the body of Do Di in the light group of these strengths, his rank should not be lower. But Xiao Yang was heading towards the deepest part of Do Di Hanoi, because Xiao Yang also knew the purpose of his trip. Old Zhu. Mu Shuzi was also in the hall, guarded by the Do Di River, but at this time an old man appeared outside the Do Di River. The old man had a lazy face, but his eyes were fixed on Do Di, and then he said, "Hee, what a greedy kid. I actually want to touch the body of the 10th rank Do Di." The old man, who Mu Shuzi called Zhu Lao, also spoke slowly. There was some surprise in his voice. "What?" When Mu Shuzi heard the words, his originally calm expression became strange. This Do Emperor Hanoi has the body of a 10th rank Do Emperor. But Mu Shuzi also knew that this 10th rank Do Emperor was a real power during his lifetime. At least they are much stronger than them. If you really want to say it, it seems that only the pavilion master of the incense-burning pavilion who sees the head, but does not see the end can be compared. Moreover, Mu Shuzi seemed to remember that the old Juju in front of him also tried to challenge this 10th rank fighting emperor when he was young. The result? He was completely tortured. So this is also the shame of Zhu Lao these years. However, Elder Zhu's current status is that of the elder of their human palace. The elders who can join the 3 halls of heaven, earth and people have the lowest strength, and must reach the level of the 7-star fighting emperor. This Xiao Yang is really a daring boy. But if you have the ability, you can show me this 10th rank Do Di. Mu Shuzi also said slowly to Do Di Hanoi. "Hey, this kid really isn't a fuel-efficient lamp." Old Zhu shook his head too, and then stopped talking. The two quietly waited for their success outside the Do Di River. "Master, this Do Di River seems to have no end, and it looks like it's going farther and farther." Xiao Yang also flew in Do Di River for a long time, and also found something wrong. Hee, you're going to the right place. This is just some means of defense for the owner of the 10th rank Do Emperor body. After all, this 10th rank Do Emperor's body is not only extremely powerful in this burning incense pavilion, it is the only one that terrifies the entire Xian Santian. So some special methods are reasonable. Having said that, but in my eyes, it's just a blindfold, and it's not very useful. The Golden Dragon King also smiled slowly, obviously gaining a lot of dragon energy in the secret realm of the Yin Corpse Forest, which made the Golden Dragon King's strength. It has also recovered a lot. Xiao Yang can hear that his master, the Golden Dragon King, now has a lot of confidence. This confidence often comes from strong strength. According to Xiao Yang's guess, the current strength of his master, the Golden Dragon King, is not as strong as that of the Xianling King, but he is definitely not weaker than Mu Shuzi. Chang Yu is a strong man of the 7-star Do Emperor. As for their deputy hall master, Mu Shuzi, his strength should be stronger than Chang Yu. The strength of King Xianling is that he stepped into the realm of 9-star Do Emperor, and entered the realm of rank 9. Therefore, the current strength of his master Jinlong King should be between Mushuzi and Xianling King. Wait a minute. Just as Xiao Yan came to a place where the light was not very bright, the voice of the Golden Dragon King appeared. Huh! Hearing this, Xiao Yan also stopped his speed, and then stood blankly above the void of Do Di River. The energy fluctuations here. It seems to be different from other places. Xiao Yan also discovered something after careful investigation. It seems that the space around him is quite strange. The other forces in this space are far away, as if they are very afraid of the space where Xiao Yan is. Roar! The Golden Dragon King also snorted viciously at the space in front of him, and then Xiao Yan also discovered that the space in front of him seemed to have some squirming changes under the roar of his master, the Golden Dragon King. In the sky originally covered with white light, a golden door appeared at this time, and I don't know where it leads. Follow me. The Golden Dragon King also said, and then walked in first. When Xiao Yan heard the words, he hurriedly followed. Just stepping into the doorway in front of him, Xiao Yan's first feeling was that he had entered a strange space. However, I remembered what Mushuzi said, so I thought that coming to this strange space was also a space to obtain the body of a Do Emperor. Be careful, this is an independent space, and it should be the place where the 10th rank Do Emperor's body exists. However, the 10th rank Do Emperor's body is not so easy to obtain. The Golden Dragon King's voice also said slowly. Shabu Shabu. Xiao Yan and the Golden Dragon King, when their figures moved, the scene in front of them also changed, and the next moment, their eyes brightened. The first thing that caught Xiao Yan's eyes was a relatively flat piece of land. On top of the ground, the golden soil also attracted Xiao Yan's attention. How come the soil here is golden? Xiao Yan also wondered, and the next moment, a huge soul force was instantly covered. At the moment when Xiao Yan's enormous soul power appeared, the golden soil also changed, and then at a speed visible to the naked eye, it devoured the invisible soul power displayed by Xiao Yan. What exactly is this golden clay? It can actually devour my soul power. Xiao Yan was also shocked. Obviously he did not expect that the seemingly ordinary golden clay in front of him contained such terrifying power. Moreover, it was the first time that Xiao Yan saw such a strange phenomenon, and he immediately looked around with vigilance. His eyes kept sweeping back and forth, and he found that nothing was out of the ordinary, and then he frowned. Could it be wrong? Xiao Yan also said. Because what appeared in front of Xiao Yan at this time was only a piece of extremely flat golden soil, and as for the land, there was nothing. Master. Xiao Yan also raised his voice by a few decibels, and then slowly faced his master Jinlong Wang Dao standing above his head. Looks like we did nothing wrong. The body of the 10th rank fighting emperor should be here. The Golden Dragon King also laughed. The next moment, the Golden Dragon King also continued, look at the golden clay in front of you and show your spiritual power. Yeah. Xiao Yan heard that, although he didn't know why, he suppressed his curiosity, then closed his eyes, and communicated with the inscription of magic movement in the depths of Nigong Wan in his body. Boom boom boom. Xiao Yan also directly summoned the divine movement core inscription, and then an invisible force slowly radiated from the divine movement core inscription. Immediately, an invisible spiritual force also filled this golden land. Just as Xiao Yan opened his eyes, he felt a strange aura, and then the next moment, the golden soil beneath his feet seemed to have life, and an ancient aura appeared instantly along with the golden light that filled the entire space. With the appearance of golden rays of light, above the originally empty golden land, a splendid golden hall slowly rose up. The main hall is in the shape of a circle, and it seems to be closed, and there is no trace of it from the outside, but it is certain that this main hall should be the place where the body of the 10th rank, Do Di, is stored. Besides this hall, the most striking thing is the top of the hall. Somewhere, there seems to be a lifelike statue. The statue stood slowly, pointing at the sky with one hand, and the other hand behind the back. Tilda opened her mouth slightly, obviously telling something. If you look closely, you can see that the pupil of the statue is between the eyes. It also slowly exudes a different look. A statue can actually do so much, and the person who carved it is enough to be called a master craftsman. I don't know why, the moment Xiao Yan saw this statue, he felt a sense of fear in his heart. It's like the statue is alive. This breath. Immortal Emperor. The Golden Dragon King's voice increased a few decibels obviously, and then stared at the top of a great hall. On the top of the main hall, a statue is slowly standing on it. And even if they were far apart, Xiao Yan could feel an aura of destruction from this statue. Immortal Emperor. Xiao Yan was also puzzled, and then looked at his master, the Golden Dragon King, with a murmur. I didn't expect to meet the Immortal Emperor here. There was still a lot of surprise in the voice of the Golden Dragon King, and after a short period of surprise, he also recovered, and then his eyes sank slightly, and he said, "This Immortal Emperor is a hero. Remember that tens of thousands of years ago, the aliens invaded the human world on a large scale. With his own strength, this Immortal Emperor forcibly resisted the two Emperor-level powerhouses of the aliens." Jin Long's flat voice, but hearing Xiao Yan's ears, there was a violent wave. Relying on your own strength to deal with two Emperor-level powerhouses from outsiders. Xiao Yan heard the words, his pupils shrank tightly, and then he said incredulously. The two Emperor-level foreign evil clan powerhouses, what does this mean? Xiao Yan is very clear. The strength of the alien race is divided into 5 stages, which are the 5 realms of the Emperor of Heaven and Earth. Heaven-level aliens are the weakest, and King-level aliens are the strongest. But this Emperor-level alien from the outside world, you don't need to think about it, you know, the strength is definitely comparable to their human-level powerhouse. Even if the strength of the evil race outside the territory is not good enough, it is still comparable to the strong human beings fighting immortals. The Immortal Emperor relied on the 10th rank, Do Emperor, to deal with the two Emperor-level foreign evil races. How could Xiao Yan not be shocked by this? And the most important thing is that this Immortal Emperor is just a Do Emperor powerhouse, at the pinnacle of the 9-star Do Emperor. However, they were able to resist the two alien races that were comparable to the level of human beings fighting immortals. This was what surprised Xiao Yan the most. Some things, I will tell you slowly in the future. Now, let me tell you something first. The war tens of thousands of years ago was tragic. That would be at a time when our 7 realms were constantly fighting, and the evil race from outside the territory led countless strong men to arrive in an instant. At that time, the 7 realms were also forced to end the infighting, because they knew that no matter how huge the resources and territory of each of the 7 realms were, if they were invaded by this evil race outside the realm, then it won't be their turn to fight for infighting. So this is the first time to end the infighting, condensing the battle of the supreme powers from the entire 7 worlds and countless planes. That battle lasted for several years, and in the end, at the cost of our 7 realms, we managed to repel the evil race from outside the territory. However, many of the powerhouses in the 7 realms either perished or fell into reincarnation. This Immortal Emperor is a fallen powerhouse. Because I remember clearly at the time, this Immortal Emperor, with the strength of the Do Emperor's peak, and with the help of his powerful 10th rank, Do Emperor body, forcibly dragged the 2 Emperor-level foreign evil races, even if they were among the 7 realms. The reputation of this Immortal Emperor is also extremely loud. The Golden Dragon King also spoke slowly, obviously remembering some unpleasant memories. Xiao Yan was also silent. Obviously, Xiao Yan knew something about what his master, the Golden Dragon King, said. Among the 7 realms, each realm is composed of countless planes, and the planes of each realm are also divided into 3 types, upper, middle and lower. Just like the Do Chi continent where they existed before, it was an intermediate plane. As for the current Do Di continent, it is an advanced plane. The area of Do Di continent is equivalent to 4 Do Chi continents. Therefore, Xiao Yang is also aware of the battle of the 7 realms, and he also started the internal fight, because he wanted to compete for resources and territory. However, Xiao Yang's thoughts did not stay on it for long, and his eyes returned to the statue above the main hall. Then, it should be the immortal emperor. Xiao Yang also murmured, and there was obviously a little more respect in his voice. This immortal emperor can rely on the strength of Do Di's peak to forcefully hold down the 2 emperor-level foreign evil races. This righteousness of giving up his life is enough for Xiao Yang to respect. I didn't expect this immortal emperor to fall here. The Golden Dragon King's voice was full of deep regret. If it wasn't for the infighting among the top powers in the 7 realms, the original battle would not have been so tragic, and given some time to the immortal emperor, the Golden Dragon King also believed that the immortal emperor would definitely become a fighting immortal. Even stronger. It's a pity that the time does not wait for me, this immortal emperor has fallen. Although there is the immortal emperor's 10th rank, Do Emperor's body here, there is no immortal emperor's inheritance. I think the immortal emperor is also to guard against foreign evil races, so the 10th rank Do Emperor's body is separated from his own inheritance. So this doesn't seem to be the place where the immortal emperor fell. The Golden Dragon King said after feeling it. Let's go, today is to let me take out the 10th rank fighting emperor, who is enough to shock the crowd, and let the light of the immortal emperor reappear. The Golden Dragon King also said, but there was a little more regret in his voice. Well. Xiao Yang also responded. Obviously Xiao Yang also knew that the fall of this immortal emperor was quite a pity. You must know that this immortal emperor can drag 2 foreign evil races that are comparable to the level of human fighting immortals with the strength of the peak of the emperor. If he grows up by the immortal emperor, he will be strong enough to attack the level of fighting gods. Why? However, Xiao Yang did not hesitate, and then walked slowly towards the Golden Hall with vigorous steps. It's just that Xiao Yang didn't realize that as he got closer to the hall, the statue standing on the top of the hall slowly woke up like snow turned into ice. 1 step. Step 2. In just a few moments, Xiao Yang also came to the door of the main hall. The gate at the entrance of the main hall is 10 meters high. Looking at the magnificent gate of the main hall, Xiao Yang felt that this splendor was not the original appearance of the main hall. This golden light seems to be emanating from something. Senior, I have offended you. Xiao Yang also bowed slightly to the door of the main hall, and took a deep breath. The grudge in his body was pushed to the limit, and then both hands fiercely grasped the door handle on the door. The next moment, Xiao Yang also suddenly pulled, and suddenly, the door of the main hall, which was tightly closed, also slowly opened. Following that, an extremely ancient aura also emanated from the hall. Opening the door, Xiao Yang also walked in. The interior of the hall is extremely empty. Looking around, there is a circular hall with a radius of nearly 1,000 meters. It's just that in the main hall at this time, a golden body also slowly appeared in the center of the hall. This is. Xiao Yang also shrank his pupils tightly, obviously feeling a familiar smell from the golden body in the center of the hall. That is the body of a 10th grade fighting emperor. Xiao Yang also murmured and looked at the center of the hall. It seems that there is a strange heat in his pupils. The immortal emperor was able to rely on the strength of the Do Emperor's peak to forcibly confront 2 foreign powerhouses that were comparable to the level of human Dozian, and he must have been able to do without the credit of this 10th rank Do Emperor. You are the third person to come here. A soft voice also slowly echoed in the hall. At the same time, the door of the main hall was also closed heavily. The Immortal Emperor. It's such a terrifying power. However, I, Xiao Yan, have made up my mind about this 10th rank fighting emperor. Xiao Yan also gritted his teeth. The voice just now was uttered by the statue standing on the top of the hall, a remnant soul left by the Immortal Emperor. It's just that even a mere remnant of the Immortal Emperor's remnant, the pressure on Xiao Yang is really not small. Following the voice of the Immortal Emperor, an indescribable terrifying pressure also rushed towards Xiao Yang instantly. The terrifying pressure swept out from Xiao Yang's limbs and bones. At the same time, Xiao Yang's body suddenly collapsed, and even the ground where he was standing collapsed several meters. This Immortal Emperor's words, the power is so terrifying. This video will end here.